Hi friends, good day to you. Welcome to Toronto Real Estate Straight Talk with Riyaz Rauf. I'm here to present to you about where the market is today after the first quarter. We are in the first week of May 2023, and also talk about how we ended April in 2023, as well as how well we have exceeded all my predictions given to you in 2022 in August, where the market would be. So the first thing we need to talk about at this point in time is how we ended December 2022 because of all the interest rate hikes that we had. From the interest rate went up from 0.25 to 4.5, and the average mortgage cost went up from about 2% to about 6%. In this scenario, we ended the year 2022 in December with a price of $1,050,000 as an average price for a home in Toronto or GTA. Now, in the last 4 months, our average price has gone up to $1,153,000 at this point in time. So that's an increase over the last 4 months. Month over month, we have an increase of $102,450 increase over a 120-day period. In other words, the appreciation of real estate in Toronto over the last 4 months has been 9.75. This is an undeniable factor. However, if you look at year over year, like if we are comparing it with April of last year to April of this year, we would see a decline. That's because in last year, in the first 4 months, we had the extraordinary appreciation of figures. Now, let me show how the year over year looks for April. In April 2022, our figures were $1,250,700. That was the average price. The average price declined this year, April, to $1,153,000. That's a decline of 7.8% or 8%. So in the month of August, I put out a chart and I basically said, if you're going by statistics, 2023 will be known as a statistical bloodbath. That's because we'll continue to compare year over year, and we are comparing a high first half of last year to the lowest first half of this year. So that's not the way to go about. As an investor, as a home owner, you'd always say, when I buy a house now, how much is going to be valued next month, next quarter, and next year, and in another 5 years' time. So when you look at that, I expected the price, today's average price is $1,153,000, and I expected this price to reach only in September of this year. And I'm going to put the slides up to show you. So when I expected this price to be in September, we are ahead of time, which means there's a huge demand for homes. And in average, there's another thing that's very important to understand is that when we look at prices and when we are looking at what are the appreciations that we see in the market, let's look at, we have statistics from 1998 at this point in time. Between 1998 to 2015, the charts are here, 1998 to 2015, that's 204 months. In the 204 months, we had double-digit appreciations of only 13 months. That we had showed double-digit appreciation on 13 occasions. On the other hand, between the years 2016 to 2022, we had a total of 84 months. In that 84 months, we had double-digit appreciations of 53 occasions. So that's almost 63% of the time that we had double-digit appreciations. So we are looking at the last, if you look at the last 84 months, we have had double-digit appreciation, except when we had a situation where we were looking at the last half of last year where we had declines. Let me bring you to another chart that's of importance to you now. Let's look at the average price of a home last year. The last year's average, 2022, the average home price, which is shown in this slide, was 1,190,000. So if somebody were to own an average home, they need to put, for anything more than $1 million, they need to put 20% down payment, which means you have to have hard cash or cash saved up of 238,000 as down payment. And when you get a mortgage, for 80% of the mortgage will be 952,000. Now, to get a mortgage of 952,000, an average household, mostly it's two people, would have to have an income, annual income of 190,000, which is a huge amount, and that is where the struggle begins for most people. On the other hand, let's look at today's prices. In today's prices, a detached home is 1,135,000, and income needed to buy that home is 238,281 annual income. Let's look at the low end. Let's look at the average price of a condominium. The condominium is 724,000, and the condominium 724,000 condominium, you need a minimum income of 157,000 as a family. So this is where the struggle is for people who wants to buy a house for the first time. The people who can afford to buy most homes are the people who have already bought a house 5 years ago and they have about 600,000, 700,000 appreciation of that house. So when they sell their house, they're going to have some good equity, enough money to put for down payment and go on to buy a bigger home. Now, let's talk about the common man who is a newcomer into the country or somebody who is buying it for the first time a home. I always tell them, take a two-step process. The two-step process will you never buy your dream home the first time. You always buy something small. Let's say, for example, in today's environment, it's very difficult to buy something less than 500,000. But maybe you may be able to buy something in Toronto for about 6 or 650,000. But still, let's put the 500,000 as a mark. So if you're buying something for 500,000, you can always do that with $25,000 or 5% as a down payment. So all you need, these are for newcomers and people who are first-time home buyers. If you have 25,000 and if you can qualify for a 475,000 mortgage, you can be a home owner. Now the question is, it might be a one-bedroom condo that you're buying, but on the other hand, you might be having 3 members in your family. A condo will not work. That's true, and I do understand. But on the other hand, that's a first stepping stone for you to become a home owner. And in my calculation, in my view, a home that you buy for 500,000, I should be able to help you to sell for 650,000 in 3 years. That means you have already built up an equity of 150,000 plus the 25,000 that you put as down payment. You have 175,000 in your hand as cash after 3 years. Which means at that time, you can even buy a 800,000 townhome for that value because you have the down payment of 20% ready with you. So this is the two-step process that I would strongly recommend people to look at. Another important thing that I want to see is delaying your decisions to buy a home. How successful is that? How good it is, or how competitive that would be in the future. Now, I'm going to compare prices here. Let's start from the lowest. Now, at this point in time, a condominium price, the average price of a condominium today is 724,000. Now, if somebody were to buy, that's the average price they would be buying, maybe low, maybe high. The same condominium in 2025 December, in my calculation, is going to be around 940,000. That's the appreciation that I'm looking at. Now, on the other hand, if you look at a townhome, today a townhome cost is 986,000 or close to 1 million. In 2025, I expect the townhome cost to be 1,231,000. So this is the appreciation that you're looking at in the next 36 months. On the other hand, if you look at semi-detached, today's price is about 1,135,000. 1,135,000. And in 2025, we are looking at about 1,476,000 or 1,500,000. Then let's look at the big ones, the ones who have been here for some time. They've sold their house, they're buying new homes. So if you look at the detached home, today's price is 1,489,000 or 1,500,000 for a detached home today. The same detached home will be around 1.9 million in 3 years' time, which is almost 30% appreciation over the next 36 months. So what I'm all trying to tell you here is we are seeing an upward movement in the real estate market in the last 4 months. We have had a 9.75% appreciation, and the number of units that are getting sold are very low compared to last year. And that's because people who are holding on to their properties are not going to give them away for a price without getting the appreciation that they know. When they know their house is valued today at 1,489,000 and that house in 3 years is going to be close to 2 million, the question is, why do you want to sell that house? What they are looking at is refinancing and buying a condominium that would appreciate by 30% in the next 3 months. So if you're interested in real estate, please give me a call. Name is Riyaz Rauf, a household name, 647-283-1966. Let me give you another hint. Every opportunity, every difficulty keeps giving you opportunities. It's a matter of whether you take those opportunities and do your research. Speak to your tax consultant, speak to your lawyer, speak to the realtor, and have the data. Come to me. I mean, for example, we just did a transaction. I'm not telling you that you should buy at that price. We bought a property for a client in downtown, a less than 5-year-old brand new condominium. Sorry, not brand new, it's about 3 years old, for 1.2 million. And after the 20% down payment, most likely they'll be paying a mortgage of $9,000 a month, and also with the carrying cost, all that, it'll be about $10,000 a month. But you know the magic figure? The income from that property per month is over $21,000 on Airbnb, and the occupancy is 95% at $750 a night. Now, you might not be able to do that. Maybe you can. Maybe look at a 1-bedroom unit in the same building, which would be about $600,000, and your daily rental will be about $300, which means you are getting $9,000 revenue for a month. And then of course your expenses will be about $4,000, say $5,000. Still you are making a $4,000 profit every month, and that's a $48,000 per year. Now that can be your retirement plan. So the question to you, if you have a house with enough equity to get the money out and buy a 600,000 property that would give you net to hand 4,000 a month, isn't that your retirement plan? Speak to me. I think differently, I talk differently, I work differently, I treat you differently. Thank you very much. Riyaz Rauf, a household name.
Household name, Riyaz Rauf, Rushdie Rauf.